Hi guys, it's Rosa here. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm here holding my phone today because I'm about to make a very different kind of video. It is my most requested video without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm going to be giving you a tour of my sewing corner. Woo! So I hope you enjoy it. I'm also going to be showing you how I organise all my sewing patterns, and there are many. So yeah, come and have a look. Hello. Nice to see you. So this is our sitting room where I do my sewing. It's not very big. There's the fireplace with the mirror. There's the books, dining table where I sew, telly, settee, and if I come round here, rug, stool, cat water bowl, have armchair, and this picture up here, this Matisse print, was mine when I was a baby. I had it in my nursery, so that's kind of cool. Still have it. These are some of our pictures, like that picture, and here are my threads. This is the corner of the room where I keep most of my sewing bits and pieces, so let's zoom on in here and take a little look. So on the wall I have my little thread house. I got this on eBay. I think it was about £6 including postage, which was quite a bargain. And if you look down below the thread house, you can see, I'm just sitting down in the chair, some sewing goodies. So on the top, these are some little vintage steps which my boyfriend bought us. I think he actually bought them before we even lived together, years and years ago, from a charity shop, and I really like them. They actually open up, but they're his things inside. He has records inside, and I have sewing things on top. So on the top pile, we have some Vogues, some sewing magazines. Here are some of my PDF patterns, upside down, which I showed you recently in their lovely cardboard envelopes, as well as my 110 Creations sketchbook. And on the shelf below, our floorboards are like really creaky, and I never realised until right this point. Sorry. I have my button box and a jar here which is full of more threads and some ribbon which I use to stabilise shoulders of knits. In this jar I have elastic, pom-pom trim and some ribbon. Not quite sure how that works, and a spare tape measure. Oh yes, I also have my other tape measure in the house here, because you literally never know when you're going to need that. It's very helpful. And in the third jar I have lots of zips and my dressmaking scissors. So yeah, that's about it. On the bottom shelf I have things which I'm working on at the moment. These are both alterations, so nothing massively exciting there. And over here is where my sewing machine lives. And you can see it kind of is hidden from the rest of the room. I haven't pushed it back properly, but when I push it back properly, it's not too much of an eyesore on the sitting room, because I don't want to take up too much space with my stitching. Oh, and I love our curtains in here. You see our bamboo outside, and these are our pretty curtains, getting a bit bright because of the window, which are from IKEA. I think the fabric's just gorgeous. So I don't really have a specific place where I keep my sewing books, so they're kind of just mixed in with all of the other books which we own, and an accordion and some photos. So you can see a few of them here though. Great British Sewing Bee book, Love at First Stitch, Granny Chic, which is a really cute book. What else? Oh, another Great British Sewing Bee book. Some really nice, like, Decades of Fashion is a lovely book, and just really nice sort of fashion reference book. And of course every sewer needs the complete set of Mad Men on box set. On the windowsill, because I sit in this chair here, which I actually decorated myself with maps. So this is my map chair. I cut it into strips and wrapped the chair up and then varnished it, so I like that chair. And that's the chair where I sit when I do my sewing, and next to it I have my pretty pin cushion which my mum made me. I'll zoom in so you can see my pretty pin cushion with lots of different pins. And she actually had the same one when I was a little girl, and she made me one which is really nice. And I also have some needle nose pliers left over from when I used to make jewellery, and now I just think they're really helpful if you ever smash a pin into your sewing machine while sewing over it. They're really good for pulling them out. Not that you're really supposed to sew over pins and then smash them into your machine. It's not intentional, but they're very handy. I also really like coloured glass, so I have these 4 really pretty glass like bottles on my windowsill here. I like how they make the colours come through when the sun's shining. The sun's actually just about coming out. You can see some fabric actually there. Oh, drying in the garden. Oh, and there's the cat again. This is just really pretty because there's really cute cat salt and pepper pots, which I had for Christmas, and some cacti, which are just super cute. So I thought I'd show you. And here is a starlight from Primark. And here is a very old, this wooden one here, a very old antique Indian candlestick. This is on that mantelpiece. I just thought it was pretty and I wanted to show you. Oh, and we got this red tray from Brooklyn when we were staying there in New York in like a thrift store. And the mirror, which we have in here, was a right bargain. I got that from a charity shop. I think it was 15 quid and I absolutely love it. Lots of things have faces in this room. I never really realised. Oh, there's some more books to do with fashion and sewing and that sort of stuff. Here is a subway map from New York, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like a vintage one. And this is our yellow corridor. So this is a print which my friend made for me when he was at uni, and I really liked it. I had it for Christmas. It has a nice message on the back, so I've kept it up there in the yellow corridor. And this, dun dun dun, is the door in which the sewing things are kept. You can the cupboard under the stairs. I'm not going to show you the cupboard under the stairs because, let's face it, nobody needs to see under anyone else's cupboard under the stairs because it's just massively embarrassing. But this is where my fabric and pattern stash lives. So I'm going to go in there and get out my patterns so I can show you. Okay, this is pretty full on. I have got out all of my patterns and here they are. It's a lot. I've been collecting them for a very long time. Oh, and actually before we go, I found something else under the stairs. This is a lovely bag with stars on, which was given to me as a lovely gift. And it's full of bias binding. So that's where the bias binding is. I remember I showed you over there my zips and elastic and threads and buttons. And the last thing is bias binding. It is in there. So I actually have a lot of trimmings in particular. Patterns, however, I have loads. Whoops. So let me explain how I store them. In this my floor is so creaky, and I'm sorry if I'm moving too much and making you feel travel sick. I haven't done one like this before, but we'll have a crack. We'll see how we go. In this first box are the patterns which I am using at the moment. And I think I've shown you this box before. I just keep all the ones out which I'm either currently using or think I might be about to use. And they're on that box there. The second box is another shoe box, and this is all my vintage patterns because I don't always use my vintage patterns to sew with. They might be more of like an inspiration thing. So for example, I might just absolutely love the cover art. Bad choice, that's not one I completely love, the cover art. This one is just so beautiful. Let me show you this one. It's actually quite fragile, it's kind of falling apart, this one. But isn't that gorgeous? So I like to keep my vintage patterns. A lot of these are given to me or I find for, 50p or £1 really cheaply, and they're just lovely. So this is my vintage patterns, and some of them are repro vintage patterns, like for example the Butterick retro ones which they did, which are quite sweet. So yeah, vintage. And the last box is this enormous crate. These crates are I think £1.50 from Wilko. They're really handy. I actually use these crates a lot in my classroom. It has a sticker on here which says, keep it nice and tidy. I might peel that off because it's getting a bit horrible. Anyway, so this is my crate of patterns, and I've actually cut up a cereal box to divide them up because the cereal box was kind of the right height. So you can see over here I have dresses. So these are all the dresses. So I have mainly dresses. Then I have some PJ patterns. And then I have play suits. Let me start back up here. I have tops, not many, but a few. Coats and kimonos, because that kind of made sense to me to have them together in this section here. Bottoms, and I was really surprised at how few like skirt and trouser patterns, but I mean, I guess it's not that much variation. Maybe I'm wrong. And then mixed patterns. These are mainly things that you get free. Actually, I paid for that. I'm not sure why I bought that one. Oh yeah, the trousers. I actually did use the trousers from that. Let me try and find these things like this, which I get free with magazines. Don't necessarily use them, but it seems wasteful just to chuck them out. So you kind of keep them. You never know, in the future I might want to make. I actually do think that coat's rather a sweet shape, kind of 60s. And then the front is a bit of a miscellaneous, sorry. At the front it's a bit of a miscellaneous category, men's, kids, and a hat, because I have one hat sewing pattern and it had to go somewhere. So yeah, they all live in here. And it's actually, I haven't been doing this for very long, this divider thing, but I think it should work. And it does make it a lot easier, because before they were just all completely random. And also before, all the vintage patterns were in here. So all these do actually fit in here. But it was really hard to find anything because like you couldn't move them. They were so overfull. So I'm quite glad that I stopped doing that. I think it's a bit better. So that is the pattern stash. Okay, so this is my view from when I'm sewing. I'm sat here in the map chair and I can see my beautiful glass bottles. I can see the lovely curtains. I like to be able to see loads of inspiring, beautiful things when I'm sewing. And I can see the telly, because I do like to watch a box set or Netflix while I'm sewing. I'm so into the Get Down at the moment on Netflix. I'm a little bit obsessed with that program. It is awesome. So yeah, do check it out. And there's my wonderful monkey sat next to the TV as well, holding a giant egg for absolutely no reason. And you can see, those are the books I showed you earlier, sort of lots of sewing related books mixed in, because we need to organise our books better, perhaps, I don't know. And in that box at the top is the Christmas decorations, so that's quite nice. And you can see the fireplace from here, the chair. So yeah, there's lots of nice things to see when you're sat in the chair here, which I quite like. So it's, you know, inspiring. Oh, and I do all my cutting out on the floor because there's no table big enough. And it's fine, I don't mind. I've always cut out on the floor for my entire life. I've never had, there's some shoes. In my entire life, I have never actually had a table to cut things out on. So I'm completely used to cutting on the floor. I've never not cut on the floor and I don't mind at all. Okay, so this is my sewing machine. It is Singer Confidence, which is how I feel when I sew with my machine. I do really like this machine. I will show you a little bit of how it works. I'll just switch it on. It has, I'm really conscious of making you feel sick filming this because I'm just like moving the camera all over the place. It has a little switch on the side. It's a electric machine. Well, they're all electric. You know what I mean. It's got like a little control panel up here. So you adjust your stitch length with these arrows. Oh, that's, yeah, it moves the needle, sorry. And your stitch length you adjust with these ones here. So it's really easy to use. You can do different stitches by pressing here. It has a gazillion stitches. I don't use most of them most of the time. This is good for stretch. That's my stretch stitch. This is kind of like an overlock type stitch. There are some actually really pretty fancy stitches as well. I'll zoom in a little bit. Some of them are actually, I like this one here, kind of cute. I like the flowers because I'm a girl. And you can program it to do different combinations of things as well. Buttonholes, different types. You can sew on a button for you, which is really, really good. Back to the beginning. And it does different pictures and letters of the alphabet, so you can like program it in what you want it to say, like ace. Why wouldn't you want to embroider that onto all your stuff? And then you press go and it does it, so it's pretty cool. And you can erase it. It's really easy is what I'm trying to explain here. I've pretty much shown you everything already. These are quite handy. It has lots of commonly used stitches at the bottom, so you can just press it. And in the drawer I have a mess because I'm human. This looks like it's covered in fluff, but it's actually just scratched. And there's all my little bobbins. Yeah, I think considering the amount of space I have, I do make the best of it. Oh wait, to reverse on this machine, you press this, which is kind of weird for me. I like that it has a little like padlock attached to a stem for no apparent reason, but it's quite cute. Anyway, that is the machine, and I would highly recommend this Singer machine. It really does so many different things and so easily. You know, a lot of machines probably have more capability, but they're a lot more complicated. This is actually this is my first ever electronic machine where you dial it all in on keypads like this on a screen. All my other ones have just been more manual. And this, yeah, it's so easy. I got to grips with it within minutes, well, maybe it was hours of buying it. I kind of knew everything it could do. I had a lot of fun playing. Yeah, so I would recommend this sewing machine. Whenever I finish sewing, I make sure I slide my machine back, just to make sure the room doesn't get too cluttered. And I do try and keep my little bits and pieces over here as tidy as possible as well, as reasonably possible for a sewer anyway. Okay guys, that is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing this little glimpse of my sewing corner. Do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!